Hey, 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 beautiful people. Hey, 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 beautiful people. I think we're live. I'm going to give everyone a moment to find me to jump onto this live. Right. Happy June, everyone. It's the 1st of June today, and it's a new month, new energy, new things. So let's dive straight in. If you are new to my page and you have never seen me or heard of me before, I'm Jenny Lyon Rainbow Anderson. I am a New Earth mentor, I'm a master healer and a channel. I also have a business program for my clients. So, welcome to this page, welcome to this vortex. I'm going to wait for a few people to jump in. It's kind of a funny time of the day. Most people are sleeping in the US, and some of my Australian clients, they're probably also sleeping because it's in the middle of the night. So I'm just going to crack on. So hashtag live if you're watching, hashtag replay if you're watching. And I'm going to dive into this abandonment topic today. So healing your abandonment trauma, which I'm going to explain to you actually more what it is and everything and why I came to talk about this particular topic today. Also, I would love to say thank you, everyone, for listening to the podcast. So, I launched my podcast last week, which is called Visionary New Earth Leaders, and I am so happy. We've had 125 downloads now, I think. And yeah, I'm just really, really pleased. There will be an episode every 2 weeks. So, there will be one next Thursday, just to give you the heads up on that. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Okay, today we're talking about healing your abandonment trauma, and the reason I wanted to talk about it was that earlier this year I started a New Earth masterclass every month. And for those who are not aware, I work with the soul contract numbers and with duality and different extremities of life experiences and how we come into full highest potential and into alignment, overcoming the obstacles. And when we work with the soul contract, there is this polarity, as in like from abandoned to reclaimed, which is what we were talking about this month. And there's other topics like from fear to love. We did that one in January. We are going to do next month another one. We've also done from barren to fruitful. Hi, I can see somebody watching. So the New Earth masterclasses have been evolving, and I've been really enjoying doing them. There is one every month, and you can join me. Go to my website. Actually, go to my website. No, sure. No, just send me a message if you want to join the next one. The whole idea with the New Earth masterclasses was to really bring some clarity and teaching, and also some activation and inspiration to us as entrepreneurs, going into the new era and in the new world, healing ourselves, healing the paradigm, healing all the programs that have been keeping us stuck for thousands of years. So, hence the masterclasses. At the back of this masterclass, which I did only a Tuesday, I had this really strong intuitive nudge to offer group healings again as one-offs. So I was like, okay, I can't just say group healing because then no one knows what we're talking about, what we're going to heal on. So I thought, do you know what, Jenny? I'm going to offer group healings for the first time in 2 years, because I used to do them in my Facebook group about 2 years ago. But I'm going to offer them again this year for you to come in and try. Because with energy work, it is it's such a specific flavor, like it's such a specific thing, isn't it? It's very intimate, and you only really want to work with people that you feel safe and relaxed with. So it's not exactly always something that you just jump into. So I felt this calling to offer it for a really low investment, and also to get people really saying yes to themselves, about healing themselves, right? And this time we're doing the abandonment healing, the abandonment trauma, and I'm going to talk to you about all about it now, and the benefits of it, and how it can really help you succeed in your, not your personal life, but just also your business, right? So especially for A-type women, and I'm one of them, and how the abandonment trauma really, yeah, led to burnout and a lot of other things in my life, and I'll share a little bit about it in a minute as well. So I also wanted to say that what else came through for me was the world needs healing. Like, the world needs healing. Everyone needs healing. Everyone needs energy support. Everyone needs to feel supported. Everyone needs to have somebody that they can come and ask questions to, somebody that they can feel that they can trust and rely on. Everyone needs to step into higher consciousness. Everyone needs to free themselves and the chains from the past so that they can move forward. This is a collective need that we all need. Okay, that's as well the reason I'm doing it for a really affordable rate, which is £44 for one session. And this is kind of like unheard of in my community at the moment, but it's happening, and I want to bring this to the world so that anyone can come start having healing, powerful healing as well, that is really going to shift and change and transform you so that you can create more success in your life and in your business as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about abandonment, and I'm going to talk a little about what happens when that happens to us, and then also the benefits from having any sort of healing on abandonment. So when we talk about abandonment, when I talk about it anyway, it's very much about how your childhood was, feeling not safe perhaps in the environment that you were in, feeling that it could be play out in so many different ways. Divorced parents, different households, maybe you moved a lot, maybe it felt like you couldn't trust the adults, maybe adults abandoned you, even for a short period of time, not completely abandoned you, but actually had this, creating this sort of like fear that the person that you rely on, or the person that are there to love, support and hold you, is actually not there. That's abandonment. And truly, when we talk about abandonment, it's not necessarily that we have to rely on other people to feel whole, safe and complete, but obviously as a child we do this. We do rely on adults to make us feel whole, loved, supported and complete. However, as an adult, we can repair that within ourselves so that we can. I always believe we need lots and lots of support, and we rely on the people that we love and them on us as well. But ultimately it comes back to not abandoning yourself as well, right? So when I talk about abandonment trauma, I talk about it in the sense that whatever happened to you as a child is potentially affecting your performance, your business, your results, all the things right now in your life. And it's not having a positive effect, it's having a negative effect on your life. And that's why we want to shift these things, right? So somebody who has suffered abandonment trauma, they will become quite self-sufficient, relying only on themselves, going into like wounded masculine action. Because what happens is that when the person feels, this happens really in the root chakra as well. So when the person feels really not safe, feeling like it's unpredictable, or it feels like they're on their own, they're not loved, they're not supported, they're not held, they start then to go into survival mode and start creating the structures they need in their life and their business potentially as well to create the structure and the holding of what they need, like some sort of safety, right? And this can come from a place, if that is created from a place of fear, from a place of lack, from a place of feeling not loved, from a place of feeling not held, it then creates this controlling, more masculine, sort of almost toxic way of holding on, which is not what we want. We want to come from a place of feeling whole from within, feeling that we've got this from a deep sense of knowing, a deep sense of self-awareness, a deep sense of like really, really knowing yourself and know that you have self-mastery. And that point of reference can only be achieved through healing yourself. So we can't actually intellectualize and think ourselves to that place. It's an energetic shift that happens within from healing oneself. And that's exactly what we're going to do in Healing Your Abandonment Trauma on the 13th of June. I'm going to drop the link below, and I'm going to also reassure all the new people that's coming to my page who's thinking, well, I haven't had healing with Jenny, I don't know how it works, I don't, like, this is the first time, am I to do this, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to give you all the layouts so that you feel safe and you feel happy and that you feel delighted to join me. So that's the kind of abandonment. So for myself, how that played out. And I was sharing that in the masterclass on Tuesday. So I'm not going to go in deep to that masterclass now because I've already shared it. So you can go to YouTube, Jenny Lyon, Rainbow Anderson on YouTube, and you can find the replay on there on the masterclass about from abandoned to reclaimed, if you kind of want to dive deeper. But my own story about abandonment was really, well, it's more involuntary. It's involuntary. My mum and dad split up when I was 1. And it just resulted in me going back and forth from different households. And obviously, this is something that many, many, many of you listening here are have experienced maybe the same in childhood, maybe in different ways, or maybe you were living with your one parent at one time and then you lived with one parent another time. Maybe that then resulted in you feeling like partners abandoned you or other things, like things would have happened in your life that maybe it repeated itself as well, potentially. Everyone's story is obviously really different, so there's not like a cookie cutter, this is exactly the story you have to have this healing. Obviously it's something that is very individual for each person. But so my story was that my dad would drop me off. This is just a piece of it, obviously. My dad would drop me off at the nursery on Monday mornings. So it was every second Monday morning. He's told me this because I can't remember it. And I was probably only about maybe 2 years old or something like this. And he would drop me off at the nursery on the Monday morning after he's had me for the weekend. And no need to say, like, me and my dad were so close. Like, I have such a close relationship with my mum and dad. Anyway, he dropped me on Monday mornings and I would scream. Like, I was screaming in such a way that my dad, who's really sensitive, he's died now, but he was such a sensitive soul. He would not recover from this sort of bi-weekly trauma, if you like, as well as me, for days, for 2 or 3 days. So we had this reoccurring abandonment trauma happening in my body and in my soul. I always knew I'd see my dad again, but it was that separation and that split from the masculine. And again, I feel blessed. I had a really great relationship with my mum and dad, and I still have with my mum. And I've had to do a lot of healing on both of them, but there's going to be stories a lot worse than mine. And there's going to be stories lighter than mine. But the point here is that every time that separation happened, there was another little wounding, another wound in my ego, another wound, because the ego then makes a story. I'm not lovable. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. My dad don't love me. Am I enough to be in his attention? Why do I not see him? So if you have a 2-year-old, will start making these assumptions, or the ego starts making these assumptions, and then that starts building this bank of subconscious beliefs, negative beliefs around who you are. All of them are obviously not true, and obviously the sadness as well of not being with him. So you would maybe argue, well, why did you not feel that with your mum? But well, I was with my mum a lot more, so I didn't feel the same split, if that makes sense, because she was with me in the weeks and every second weekend. So I didn't feel this same, like I didn't feel that. I can't remember, I don't feel it in my body now that I was separated from her. It was more like I was separated from my dad. So that was just one example. I've had other examples in my life with abandonment, but what is so important to understand with this is that you have done nothing wrong, and there's nothing wrong with us as humans. This is a part of the human journey, but this can then start playing up in your business and your life and create really sort of negative patterns. So these were my patterns. So I'm going to share some of mine. So I became really over controlling. Because there was a lack of masculine energy, as in like the abandonment of the masculine energy, I then started to install that masculine energy within myself, this self-reliance that I had to create within me so that I could perform or move forward or feel safe. It's almost like I had to create these safe structures of self-reliance. And this is so common in A-type women. So I'm A-type. I am a starseed and a spiritual entrepreneur, but I'm also A-type woman. So high achieving, almost like would go the whole mile to get it done sort of thing. And really, and you will be feeling the same. If you're an A-type, this is how you feel. And you will probably have some sort of trauma in the past which made you self-reliant. Okay, so that was one. The other thing was that happened for me particularly was that I also didn't feel safe around the masculine. It's almost like I had to take the lead in relationships so that I wouldn't get dumped and disappointed. Right? And if I remember, I think I was 17, there was one particular relationship that I had where I was abandoned and dumped. And I was like, oh my God, because I had avoided that. I had created my safety net to not be abandoned and dumped. I had already created that at age 17, and then it happened, and I was like, oh my God, that's never going to happen again. So I actually remember my own brain going, right, that was not safe. That is never ever going to happen again. Now I have to build even a stronger net of self-reliance so that doesn't happen to me again. And I was 17. And I remember it. It never happened again. But what happened instead was that I would take too much of a masculine role in relationships, and I would attract men that couldn't match my high level of achievement and performance, because there had to be a balance somewhere. So if I'm all this in my masculine, and then I need a man who needs to balance it out, which is obviously not really what I need. I needed to know that I can relax back into the masculine and relax back into my feminine, like release the masculine and back into my feminine. And that only happened after healing and being with my husband. I was never able to do any of that leaning back and trusting until I had done the healings. And now I have a wonderful, amazing relationship with my husband where sometimes I'm in my masculine and get stuff done, and at the same time I plug out from the masculine so that he can step forward and do his masculine thing. Sometimes I lean back and he will then give to me so that I'm in my feminine, he's in his masculine, and the other way around. Because this is the thing, right? We should be able to be in our masculine and in our feminine, but at different times. So it's not about a woman being in her feminine all the time, doing no masculine action. It's about knowing that we have both within us, but using it in a healthy way. And that's where the healing comes in as well. So if this is you, and if you feel like you are in the masculine lead a lot in relationships, and this is so common for A-type women, they're in the masculine lead in their relationships, in their business, with their kids, everywhere, this healing is also for you. So that's obviously, it's like it really improved my relationships. So for example, with kids, they are often in their feminine because they go like, oh, I'm hungry, I would like some food. Like, you know, they're like, oh, I want to do this, and they're all in playful creative mode, which is a feminine energy. So mothers and fathers often are in their masculine to give them structure, instructions, take them from A to B, doing things. But I've even now started to step away and ask my children to step into their masculine. As in, I don't say that to them because they wouldn't understand what I'm talking about. But I'm seeing how I can empower them to step in a masculine that is a healthy masculine, and then still receive from me as the loving mother and goddess that I am, and still give them what they need in a feminine way, nurture them, hold them. So this is kind of goes into all of your relationships. It's not just, and the same with my clients. So I can still go, right, here's the structure, this is what we're doing. I want you to plug into your masculine to do these things, to, you know, to execute this bit here. And then I want you to relax and receive and lean back in this particular way. That's, again, using it in a healthy feminine and masculine way. So your relationships all over will start improving, not just with loved ones, but with children, with clients, with partners, with friends, and everything. Because if we in this controlling, I wouldn't say, I'm not going to go into codependence and those kind of things, but not in today's live anyway, but there is so many things that are entwined with this type of pattern. So healing this is going to also reduce your anxiety, like, because this kind of performance, when we're like this, it's like we are on fight and flight all the time, which produces a lot of anxiety. It produces a lot of like high sort of like energy of just go. I'll share a little story about yesterday. So my daughter, she's got 3 10-1s. This is for the soul contract in her chart. For whatever reason, she had all those. She got those, and there's a lot of masculine drive energy, but there's also a lot of channeling star child, change the world energy. Sort of like, you know, she's an indigo child. So she has this really like beautiful, pure ascended master energy as well. Nevertheless, she has those. Anyway, yesterday, she knows about feminine and masculine. We were on a bike ride, and my son was all in his nice feminine, lovely energy, going on a bike ride in the lovely weather. I was in the middle. She was in her distorted masculine energy, but behind me, I was like, Frankie, I can see that you're on your adrenaline, because she's on adrenaline because she's doing the bike ride. I said, but you can still do the bike ride in feminine energy. You don't have to do the bike ride in distorted masculine, like energy. And she was like, oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. So she just shifted the energy. So look, this type of work goes everywhere. It goes everywhere. It goes into your life, everywhere. Your business, with your parents, with your husband, with your wife, with your friends, with your work, like everyone, your clients, everywhere. It goes everywhere. So anyway, we reduced the anxiety there, because she was starting to get anxiety about, I don't know, like what was going on. I was like, right, this energy has to change. So we changed it. But this type of sort of fight, flight, sort of like adrenaline energy creates a lot of anxiety and stress, and then leads to these dumps in your energy where you feel like depressed and low and like, oh, what am I supposed, you know, what am I doing? Why is this so hard? And it just creates this feast and famine energy, which we don't want. Okay. Now, overall, when these things are healed and trauma is healed, and even if it's a micro trauma, this is another thing I want to talk to you about. Little t's and big t's, both important to heal. Just because somebody had a car crash and it sort of like completely traumatized them for 6 months, and it was terrible in every single place in their life and body and mind and spirit, that is obviously important to heal. But the small ones are really important to heal, because they could block us as much as the big ones. So this is not to sort of go, oh, I'll be all right. You know, we're not to sort of push it under the carpet and go, you know, I can deal with that, because they are as significant as any big ones. Like I was saying about my dad in the beginning, that every time for, you know, every time he picked me up for 7 years, because then he moved to another town, so, and then I was older, every 2 weeks I had this separation trauma happening. And same with many other children in this world, right? And these micro traumas, they count. So we need to heal them, okay? What happens is when you start healing yourself, when you really start understanding that all these myriad of experiences and beliefs created and imprints and experiences and all those things, when you see how they starting to affect so many parts of your life and your business, and then start healing and then see the results in all the areas which I just said, you have then starting to reach a really deep sense of fulfillment, feeling a really enhanced life satisfaction, feeling like you really got this. It feels like your energy is stretched. It feels like whatever is thrown at you, you can just go zen. You may not be zen all of it, but you have more of a zen sort of approach to things. Like it is endless. It is endless, the actual benefits, and it goes on and on and on. So why would you trust me? Because some of you would come to this page and go, well, I have not had healing with you, Jenny. I do not know how your healing works, and why should I trust you to do my healing? Okay, so I'm going to explain to you now, and then I can send you to the pages where you can also see the testimonials and things like that. So I started out as a healer in 2001. I started to do massage and body treatments. So I was healing on a physical level. And I remember channeling energy as I was doing it, but I wasn't really having another tool, so I just did massage. So I've been doing it for 23 years. 23 years. I did get all my qualifications in healing and counselling. So then I did counselling certificate. I did all the massage certificates, like the reflexology, deep tissue, sports rehabilitation. I did kind of all the different sort of aspects of that. And then I started to do counselling and then healing, as in divine healing, which I use now. And I started using that in 2009. And then I was working on clients throughout the times when my kids were smaller. So I was working, I've done thousands of hours of therapy, like literally therapy, because what happens with the divine healing is, so divine healing is developed by a medical doctor. So she is a medical doctor, but she's also a channel. So which means that we have about, it's 5 levels now. It's 5 levels and then 4 extra modules, and then the human blueprint. There's probably about, I have to count it, so 25, so about 200 charts of different significance. So it could be anything from nutrition chart, from clearing subconscious trauma beliefs, past life healing, could be a chart on clearing your DNA, a chart on past life vows. Like this, it's multidimensional, and the charts are developed to target different things in this life and in your past, your trauma, your past lives, your future lives, multidimensionally, all time frames, Akashic records, and deep shadow work as well. So it's so multifaceted that you could, this is why it's so important for me when I do these marketing sort of videos, if you like, to explain that this type of healing that we use, and this is another thing, you guys doing healing, you know that much of your healing could address so many different things. So it's important to then target one particular thing at a time so people understand how it's going to help them. Hence, we're talking abandonment today. Okay? So I just thought I'd say that as a marketeer and as a business owner as well. So when we do the divine healing, it means that, I need to explain this because some people don't say, why is this superior? So when we open up for divine healing, and if you're a qualified divine healer, you know this, we connect with all the different divine help that we can get. So it will be, we have angel and archangels, obviously, they can always help healing. We have star beings, so like ETs and stuff. So I work with the blue avians sometimes. I also work with other goddesses and other sort of higher divine beings, ascended masters like Kuan Yin, and there's different like people, if you like, coming in, divine people coming in at different times. We also, so it's called multidimensional divine healing, which means that any specialist required for your specific issue will come into the session divinely and work with us. So I also have some Pleiadians and Arcturians on my team. So I have about 20. I have a lot on my team because I do big groups. So we have more power, as in like more healing power collectively. And then you as a client will also have your own teams, right? So let's say you come to me because you feel very drawn, because you maybe feel a bit Pleiadian or Arcturian, or you might feel this kind of soul connection, then your team will also have a connection with mine. All right, so that's how it works. So we have the human intelligence and science knowing in the divine healing process that we are doing, understanding how the human work, understanding the psyche of the human, understanding the trauma of the human, understanding all the things about the human life. Plus we have the divine intervention and knowledge of the divine coming in and orchestrating the helping me orchestrating the thing. Okay, so it's like limitless. Because, for example, this I got to tell you this. So I had a client once who was an anesthetist. Is that what it's called? Anesthetist, yeah. So she's like works with anesthesia, put a needle in people to give them anesthesia before operation. And she said, "I swear to God, Jenny, it's not me putting the needle in. I am so divinely, because this is a job of precision, right?" So she said, "I swear to God, Jenny, I use obviously the needle to put in the anesthesia in the spine of people, but it's not me. Like I am in this kind of trance and I'm doing it." And she was the best anesthetist in the county. Like she was so talented and so good at her job. And she said, "I swear to God, I've got a team with me there. It's not me doing this. Like it is me doing it, but I am being divinely channeling this." And that is how I work as well. So when I do healing on someone, I can basically go into the exact trauma in the body. I can see the trauma. They show me everything. Like I know exactly when it happened, who was involved, what was happening, how it affected you, and how we can change it and create a new outcome. So although she was an anesthetist and she was channeling how to put a needle in, I do this through my divine work. And this is what many healers do through the divine work. They're obviously channeling always what's happening. So this is really important to understand that the scientific knowledge that we use in this process, as well as the divinely guided intuitive channeling that I'm using. And having been doing this for so long, it is very accurate what I do. It's very accurate. It's like 100% accurate because I'm so experienced. Now, going back, so that's, if you want to see testimonials or anything, go to jennylyon.love and you can check it out there. Now, what is so important with this work, and I said it at the beginning of this video, is that everyone needs healing. Everyone needs healing, okay? And I wanted to offer it at a really, really low investment if you have never worked with me before, so that you feel A, low risk, B, check the energy out, feel the amazing transformation that you're going to get from the healing, and then maybe start considering some other more powerful programs when you're ready for those. So that was the end of the live today. So if you want the things that I said, a stronger self-esteem, more wholeness, fullness in your life, improving your relationships, balance your masculine and feminine within you, increase your increase your emotional resilience to things, being able to hold energy, increase your self-awareness and all the other things, and feel deeply fulfilled and have self-satisfaction, then I invite you to come and join this one. And it's £44. It's about $55. And never, there's not to say, so I just want to say to you, if anyone want to work with me one-on-one, one session is £444, and my one-on-one programs are in the thousands, and also the light body program is 5,000. So this is your opportunity to come and do this, to check it out, and to come and just have the healing, enjoy it. And if that means that you would come every month for the next year because that's what you want to do, that's also okay. All right? Sending you lots of love. And hi, Faye. Good to see you there. Good call this morning. Faye has just joined the Connect the Soul Club, so I'm really happy that she has. And she's going to, do so many amazing, wonderful things in this world. Okay, guys, I'm going to drop the link now below, and I'll see you soon. I love you so much. Don't forget to tune into the podcast. Like and share this video, please. If you feel like somebody needs this, feel free to share the video, because maybe you think somebody has had abandonment trauma and they need some healing. Okay, so not to say as well, obviously, yes, it does work, Claire. Claire knows it works because she comes to my healings. She's in the membership as well. Just to say as well, because obviously it's a delicate topic, so to have healing in an intimate space with other people, you might think, oh my God, can I really do this? Yes, you can, because A, I work with high, full integrity. B, no, how should I put it? It's a safe space. Like, I set it up energetically so that nothing can happen that it doesn't feel safe. People that would be misaligned, if they sign up, I'd feel the energy and I would actually refund them and not let them come if I felt that. So I use my intuition. So what I'm saying here is the space is safe. You are safe. I will only create a safe space ever with clients and group settings. And if it's not feeling that way, I then correct it, like I just said. Okay, I will see you soon, guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. Link is below. See you on the healing, 13th of June. And it's the first one of this year. I am so excited to see you, have you, and love you. And see you soon. Bye. Yeah, Claire, totally safe space. Yes, she's in my membership. Claire has an amazing energy. She's lovely. We love Claire. We love Faye. We love everyone. Okay, see you soon, guys. Bye.